It's a novel that takes place on a little college campus in the Midwestern United States, and it basically tracks the lives of 5 people at this little school. 3 of them are players on the baseball team, and then also the president of the college and the daughter of the president of the college. So it tracks one season in the life of this baseball team, and also the ways in which these 5 characters get all bound up with one another and fall in love and fall out with one another. That's very much what I'm interested in about the game, is that you have this real tension between the group and the individual. You have this. You have a kind of. I think there's an idea very close to the heart of baseball of a kind of enlightened self-interest. Where every player's job on the field is quite solitary. It's almost like a sort of. It's like early America. It reminds me sometimes of early America and Thomas Jefferson giving everyone 40 acres, and you go out and you have your 40 acres of land for you to farm. I often think of the baseball field a bit like that. I think that a baseball team is kind of the contemporary version of the whale ship in Moby Dick, where you have a group of guys who come from all over and are thrown together and spend a lot of time to one another and develop very close relationships, whether friendly or antagonistic or romantic, and kind of go off on a quest together. So that struck me as a kind of basic and maybe fruitful kind of analogy. And I just think that Moby Dick is kind of the best American novel about male friendships and male relationships. And it was clear to me early on that was also something that I was very interested in writing about. I didn't write a whole draft of the book and then go back and write a whole another draft and go through several iterations like that. I was working my way forward very, very slowly. So I would, certainly in the early years of working on the book, I was far too hard on myself, and I would write and write and write for hours and hours and write thousands of words, and then just crumple it up and throw it in the wastebasket and start over. As time went on, I began to go a little bit easier on myself and say, don't throw that in the wastebasket now. Wait until you're in a better mood and look at it, and it's probably just fine. In the early years, I think I really just doubted my own skills, and I knew that it was going to be a slow process of teaching myself how to write while I was writing the book. And later, after you've been working on something for 6 years or 7 years, and you don't see the end in sight, then you feel a real kind of weight on you, and I certainly many times I thought I will just work on this book for the rest of my life, and then maybe my grandchildren will pull it out of the dresser drawer and read it to themselves, and maybe they'll like it. I was very happy. I admire Wallace to an extreme degree. Infinite Jest was a novel that I read just as I was graduating from college, and it was really a novel that, in a lot of ways, made me want to become a writer. And so when it came time to choose a publisher, and I was lucky enough to have a bit of choice in the matter, and I had the opportunity to work with Michael Peach, who was Wallace's editor at Little Brown, I was very pleased to take that opportunity. What I'm thinking about right now does not have to do with sports, but I do think that, but I do feel that that sports are very interesting and large kind of part of our culture, and that there's very few novels being written about it actually, and that there's certainly room for more. So I could see myself someday writing about sport again. I think there's more to say on the subject, although I don't feel interested in doing so right at the moment.